Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Moment with Maudy on the MultiDimensional MD. I'm your host, Dr. Arlene Diamco, and my mission is to bring spirit back to medicine, back to health, and normalize these multidimensional conversations to talk about the most important things in our lives. So today, our topic is the power of the mind. And so I'm here with my friend, Maudy Fowler. She's a mystic and international speaker. And this is a topic that we really wanted to talk about because the energies continue to be really intense still. And I find for myself and for the people around me, the intensities are overlapping in that some of them are similar and ongoing, and there are new ones. It's like every week presents its new set of challenges, and it just keeps going this way. And so we wanted to talk about the power of the mind so that you can reclaim your mind and really reclaim your life. So, Maudy, how did you think about this topic?
Oh, well, thank you for asking, and thank you for having me to visit with you again, and for you all at home. So welcome. Yeah, Dr. Aline, you know what? We talked about it, that actually we get up with, what the first thing is that our mind is going 100 miles, 180 miles per hour sometimes when we get up and we go to bed. But, the intensity of our mind. And you see, for you all at home, and Dr. Aline, you know that we've said that, everything starts with your mindset. And the mind can also make you or break you. See, with the mind so strongly busy with us, is that we can also project some things from our mind to other people's mind. And we'll go into that a little bit further. But it is all in in the phrase also, happiness is what? A state of mind, right? And then there's also another phrase, mind over matter, right? So in many ways it comes back to what you're thinking and what you're doing. And I always say that your thoughts become words, your words become deeds, and it's all an escalation, Dr. Aline, to where can actually manifest things through
Mm-hmm.
all of that. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not like I'm totally immune to that. I have found, even in the last couple of weeks, maybe, and I would catch myself because I would see my mind start looping and worrying about, like, oh, I said something that offended someone. And, oh, what do they think about me? And what are they thinking? And maybe they're thinking badly of me. And then I'll catch myself and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I running down that train? And then just to like breathe in and pause, because it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy where you worry and worry, and then you create like more worry and create more situations where you're worrying about what people are thinking of you. So yeah, it's just one is just like pausing and realizing, oh, okay, what is my mind doing at this moment?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm taking it a little bit further. Okay, so yesterday I gave we had a Zoom, and the beginning of the motivational inspirational part was also the power of your mind. So with my gift coming into play, so for you all at home, and you know that we have written, Gail and I have written this book, Angel Messages, and of course also Angel Whispers. But in the Angel Messages book, and if you all can have a chance and see a chance to obtain it, it is also where the mindset is connected to heaven. And so
Mhm.
if you deal with your loss of the loved ones, this is how it also works. And just to let the people at home know, Dr. Lean, that with your loved ones in heaven, they connect through your mind. Like in heaven, they don't speak the language that you and me are speaking. They Everything goes from mind to mind, and so it's a kind of different, so to say, a telepathy, a heavenly telepathy.
Mhm.
But also that telepathy is also connected to you and me, because how often do we have that? Oh, Dr.
Mhm.
Aline, I was just thinking about you. You're on the phone.
Uh-huh.
You
Uh-huh.
see, so that is so, powerful with the power of your mind. You think about somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and they're on the phone. You think about somebody and you might see them in the store. So, you know, and sometimes I say, be careful who you think about, because sometimes you really don't want to see the person. Well, then I say you can
Mm-hmm.
always go into another aisle, right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
if they spot you first, then usually there is, a reason for that. If you spot them first, again, go towards the exit or another aisle. But if they're on the phone, then you have the luxury of call ID, because if you don't pick it up and you think this person can give you a headache, why pick it up, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this is the best way to, think it. Think it. And I know you experienced that at some point in time as well when you think about people, right?
Oh, absolutely. And to help people just kind of back up and see themselves, it's just to pause. And then I tell people, if they're feeling confused or they feel like they're thinking and behaving
Yeah.
in a way that they don't want to pause and widen their perspective. Like, so what you said, the heavenly telepathy, well, also to widen your perspective for yourself and to pause and see, where is that pattern coming from? Because does it really match your situation today, or is it a leftover thing from another time, maybe another time in your life? And so sometimes I've been walking my patients through this and just asking them, have a conversation with yourself. So this is diving into the spirit, into your being, and realizing that you have these multidimensional aspects of yourself. And so it's like having a conversation with your present self and having conversation with yourself from a different time in your life where maybe these patterns got set in, and then widening your perspective and telling your little self that maybe got into this worry loop or stress loop, and saying, listen, look around now. Is it the same situation? Do you still need to use this pattern? Does it still have to keep playing? And then you can let your little self, it's like just pretending. And this is like pretending with your mind, but it's also real in a way. So then your little self can look around and be reassured that, oh, this is a different scenario. This is a different situation. And I can exhale and let go of that and kind of return back home. So you're kind of reclaiming all these aspects of yourself. And, that is a mind exercise, because you have to kind of talk yourself through it and allow yourself to experience it, allow yourself to widen your perspective and to really see multiple pieces of yourself, because that helps us feel whole when we can see the bigger picture of ourselves, and really realizing that we are these spiritual beings, and we can bring with us like these patterns that are kind of like set into the body, into the mind. But if we connect with our spiritual being and then realizing these aspects of ourselves, then we can bring them back in and feel more whole. Does that make sense?
Yes, and to go on what you just mentioned and shared with the people at home, that is typical mind over matter.
Mm-hmm.
The whole everything, and you all will identify and recognize maybe what Dr. Aline was sharing with you, but Dr. Aline, that is typical mind over matter, because that's what we actually tap into. But it also, to reach that point, to come to that self-conscious and that aware, that actually tells us it needs us to have that quiet time, that meditation
Mm-hmm.
time,
Yes.
that prayerful time, that way to connect to heaven, to actually come to your senses, to your mindset, to see, okay, now which way do I need to go to change all these patterns, and
Yes.
how do I
Yes.
do that? So it gives you time, to reconnect
Mhm.
in what you were saying, with everything, to have that clarity of mind. So
Yes.
it all comes back. I love this topic because you can actually expand, to where
Oh.
people can identify themselves and recognize
Mhm.
yourself with what is.
Mm-hmm.
because
Yes.
within heaven, they can actually hear your mind. Like, my mom, my dad, your dad, my sister, everybody who's in heaven, or who is so much, when you think them, you think them up. So they are connected right away. And then,
Mm-hmm.
taking that part a little bit further, with your mindset to heaven with your mindset, they connect for that special moment. You can be behind your computer, you can be cooking, you can be in the car, and think about them. Immediately, the mindset picks up from heaven to yours, and then they want to let you know, I got you. I heard your
Yeah.
prayer. I heard your thoughts. So they actually can let you know a message by maybe you getting out of the car while thinking about them. And then you get out of the car, open up the door, and you see a penny on the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you pick it up, and isn't this in a mindset a penny for your thoughts? So therefore, the people in heaven, will actually let you know, yeah, that's me. You've been thinking about me while you were driving. See, it's all in how the mind operates and think it. It's so cool because it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like this topic is escalation, right?
Mm-hmm. And when, connecting with those heavenly messages, see, because our loved ones that have crossed over, oh my gosh, they have so much love for us, and they love and accept us fully as we are now. And what you were saying, yes, if you want to change it, you have the clarity to see as is now. So see yourself as you are now. Realize from heaven that you are fully loved as you are now. And then do that for yourself as well. So love all these parts of yourself, even the parts that maybe you feel like you don't like or you want to hide. Love all parts, because that's how you feel whole. Just drop the tug of war of like fighting yourself, and that's how you feel whole, because heaven realizes you are already whole. And so it's up to us to see that as well. And once you can really accept yourself as you are now, any way you are now, then that's how you can start to shift and change how you would like to, like more consciously, like using the mind. But you do have to start with that clarity of like, oh, as is now, I'm totally okay. I'm worthy of love. I completely love myself. And then from there, use your mind to create the change you want to see.
Yeah, exactly. And you're so right with all of that what you just shared, because with that clarity of mind, we can actually move forward. Now, also with a couple of Zooms that I experienced, of course, when we share this with all of you, and you're going through that hardship and not being able to let go, and just being stuck, just totally stuck. Okay, when you
Mhm.
mentioned, Dr. Aline, you need to love and embrace yourself with that love. And I always say love will conquer all. But for those people who are so much stuck, of course, comes across for them as, yeah, well, that's easier said than done. You know,
Sure.
I'm not too sure if you experience that in your, of course, but for me, how I handle that with the people is to say one step at the time, you
Mhm.
know, and this might all be coming to you like overwhelming while you're actually stuck and deal with losses. And yeah, Maudie, it's so good and well to love yourself, and the list goes on and on. But I just can't let go. But you see, for you all who are tuning in, and Dr. Aline will share that with you in how, her experiences with in her world. But for me, how I love you all is one step at a time, and just pray, because
Mhm.
your thoughts are being heard and overheard. And so therefore, heaven will actually process to help you move forward. And when Dr. You mentioned, you fight yourself. Yes,
Mhm.
many people are fighting themselves. And how to let that is, have to want to. You have to put your mind over matter by making your willpower strong, by making your faith strong, because your faith has to be stronger than your fear. And so fighting yourself is usually having that fear, and fighting yourself is usually coming to a point where we so much live with our fist clenched. So that means that we are so much fighting ourselves, and that's why it's cramping up. When you let go and let God, then all the love will come to morph you, and then you feel more
Mhm.
at peace. So that's how I usually share
Mhm.
that with the people. So
Mhm.
I'm sure you have that experience.
Oh,
How do
yes.
you
So
let the
much. I
people know?
mean, so many people have been like saying they just feel stuck and they feel the heaviness and the intenseness of the times.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
gosh, there are actually many ways to approach it. They all are start from like love and compassion for yourself. But one is sometimes the mind actually needs a break because it's so much going, and it's hard to redirect it when there's so much momentum going in a certain direction. It's so you need to be able to pause it first and before you can redirect it. And so those breaks are getting more rest and maybe not consuming, not taking a break from work or whatever you're you have to be doing. I know it feels like we have so many responsibilities, but try and prioritize this rest for yourself. And then number two would also be having a meta conversation with your mind. So I like to pause if I feel like I'm sort of feeling stuck or I don't know which direction to go. I have a conversation with myself and I include spirit in that conversation. So I ask for help always ask for help. It makes it so much easier that way. And I have a meta conversation with myself as if I was like my own best friend or my own parent who really wanted to help and support and encourage me. And so I talk myself through and find where the difficulty is. So when people are feeling stuck, so much of where the stuckness is that they don't feel comfortable. And so that's one of the biggest keys of like, it's not always about being happy. I know our experience, we want to have like a joyful experience, but joy to me is even bigger than happiness because you can have a joyful grief, you can have a joyful sadness, and it's understanding that it is okay to feel uncomfortable things, and it makes you no less. It makes you no less worthy of love, and you
Mhm.
don't have to. There's no reason to love yourself less because you're going through something uncomfortable, and that tends to be a lot where the stuckness is. But we are here to experience, and so the experience is yes, with the mind, that we are creating with the mind, to have that trust and understanding of the spirit, but also to feel with the body. So we are here to
Mhm.
feel emotions, and that's a huge key. And if you do have trouble getting comfortable with the discomfort, then you can also, ask the mind to take a break and listen to the body. So you could just move and dance it out. I teach a trauma release exercise class, and we really turn to the body a lot because it knows what it feels. It knows how to balance, and often the body is still connected with spirit, even though the mind feels disconnected. The mind might be here, and the body's here, and spirit, but it's really integrating the three to have that experience that feels whole, where you don't feel stuck, where you feel you're in the flow of living of life. How do you feel about that,
Yeah, and
Maudy?
that is so cool to hear. Yeah, we see what I like about what you shared is that you're actually given the trauma classes for people, and people need to know who they can turn to if they reach that point of stress, frustration, frustration and depression and not able to let go and being stuck. So, that's good that you can share that with them and they can turn to you and to whoever you refer to. And so, when I do the classes Zoom and helping people move forward and move on, a lot of people, then are with that word stuck. It's often, that they could go through life after trauma, after experiencing the losses in their family. I had a person who had three losses in the family and so many things that actually occur. So they life numb. So
Yeah.
the mindset is kind of like, it's not really there. And then, we talk, and usually when I have them on the phone on the, the personal level. So then I usually say, yeah, I noticed that light's on and nobody home, because, and then she said, oh, Maudy, that's so funny, but you're right. I'm going on cruise control and automatic pilot. So that's where I kind of like reel them in, and let
Yeah.
them know, okay, see, the ice broke. They can laugh. I see, that's what I need. You need to laugh. You need to touch base with the authentic self. It's
Mhm.
exactly what you explained. We are saying the same thing. You in your world of the health, me in my world of the, the heavenly way, and a reaching out way, and helping the people understand
Mhm.
who they are and why this all happened. Everything happens for a reason. So this is where I share with them, it's you learn to let go and let God. And that's so hard when, people get mad because of the family that has been called home. So the
Mhm.
mindset is so scattered. So the mindset is actually in the car is totally on, not on drive. People usually put it in reverse. So they're just stuck in the parking
Mhm.
place and just zoom out. So when that happens, you know um like, I refer people to, prayer and meditation. But I also know that we can go deeper, and usually I touch
Mhm.
base with that and take their luggage away and change that
Mhm.
part into a backpack with the big losses. So having that said,
Mhm.
it is to give people then peace. So I totally agree in what you shared. And that is so cool that people can turn to your trauma classes. So
Mhm.
maybe it's good for people to know, where they can, apply to and be in contact with that.
And it does help people when there's things that are so traumatic that they're unspeakable, then it helps to help them speak of it in a way where they're not numb. They can be present with these extremely uncomfortable emotions. And what you said, mind over matter, that's happening whether we're conscious of it or not. Because when we feel down or we're going through a lot of difficulties, the body shows it too. It just wants to, kind of curl up in a way. And or if you're feeling stuck, often the body will move in a stiff way, right? So it's mind, body, spirit, and and stepping back and being able to realize that um, is empowering. I know it can feel overwhelming in the beginning, but to
Yes.
realize that you do have this mind over matter, and it's always happening regardless of whether you're intending it to or not. That's so empowering because if you are in a situation that you don't like, or then you do have the power to shift and to change. And it doesn't always come out exactly how we think it will, but trusting, using the mind too, to trust in the spirit, to trust in the experience,
Yes.
and feel through the experience, then that aligns that trinity of mind, body, spirit. And yes, you can start on any level, but yes, today we're talking about like how can you start with the mind, and we realize the difficulties, and I see it all the time.
Yes.
So it's not always easy, but to just take a step every day, to take a step, And one thing, as soon as you wake up, even when you feel the weight, just to look around and think of like one thing that is comfortable for you, or is soothing for you. You could just see the color is in your room and like, oh, okay, I like that. Or you brush your teeth and like, oh, I like the way my mouth feels after I brush my teeth. Or and anything really, just to realize that there are so many things that we can uh, be thankful for still in times of difficulties. And again, I'm not saying that it's easy, but to pause, and that we can, when we pause, we slow down the momentum that's spinning off in one direction, and then we can intentionally choose another direction that is more comfortable. So accepting the discomfort, and from there, creating more of what you want in your life. I think your pause will.
Exactly. We're coming to close up this segment. And are you still there? Yes.
Yes,
So,
yes,
anyways,
it
if
froze
you
a
can
little
hear
bit.
me, we're coming to this
Mhm.
segment to close it. Yeah. So I want to let you know that Dr. Arlene and I, will be next time on this YouTube on Zoom on this segment again. And let's talk about strength next time, because people you are at home are stronger than you think. And just keep yourself in prayer, and just let go, let God, and make that you have your time for you, that mind over matter, and be kind to your mind. And this way you will have peace of mind. And that is so important. And then we feel rich. Know that heaven can hear you. God is so much here to hear you, and He will see you through. Just pray, 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 and let the angels lead the way. So maybe, Dr. Lee, next time we can let people know that they have lots of strength and the power of strength. So
Yes,
we'll
and
talk about it
that is
some
a
other
great
time when Dr. Arlene invites me back to the show. I
mhm.
would love to be here.
That is a great way to end it, that,
Right?
be
So,
kind to your
anyways,
mind, and
I
then the next right, we'll go on to strength. And definitely stay tuned. If you haven't
yeah,
already, please like and subscribe, comment, let us know you're here, because we don't know unless you let us know. And so we always, of course, love to connect with all of you. And you can follow Maudy on Instagram, Maudy.Fowler, and you can follow me on Instagram at All World Health. So thank you so much for joining us. And again, our topic next time is strength, on another Moment with Maudy on the MultiDimensional MD. Lots of love to all of you. Have a great day and rest of your week. We'll see you next time.